Hey y'all, hey, so Dr. Maka here. Okay, so healing from liposuction 360. So healing from anything, related to plastic surgery depends on how do you define healing, right? So there are different aspects of healing that I think about. I think about number one, when can you be fairly independent? Number one. The next one is going to be, if you work or even in the home, like if you're looking after children and looking after the house, like when can you return to that kind of activity, right? Number next is like, when is swelling gone? What's the swelling progression, right? So those are the three things I think about. So when can you kind of like be independent? Like when do you need that one-on-one, hand-on-hand help? For liposuction 360, you want to have someone available with you, for about a week, that can really help you with everything, getting up, getting to the restroom, getting meals. That way you can just have that support, and you don't feel the stress having to do everything, for yourself. But not only that, you have the risk of, if you get up and you're unsteady, you could fall, right? So you really want to have hand-on-hand help for about a week. Returning to activity, returning to work, about 2 weeks. So the patient I showed this original video has a very active job. She's up and down a lot. She sits at a desk some too. And she returned to work in about 2 weeks, a little less than that actually, and she did beautifully. But so return to work, it's about 2 weeks. Now, if you work from home, you could potentially return to work in 1 week, right? So again, recovery and healing depends on what your lifestyle looks like. So if you work from home, after 1 week, you can return to work. After 2 weeks, you can return to an in-person job. And of course that will vary depending on how physically taxing it is. One thing to think about with that is, especially returning to work, I always say, it's not like you're going to go to work and feel normal. Like by the end of the day, you'll feel swollen, you'll probably be sore, you'll probably be exhausted when you first return because your body is recovering from that deconditioning from just anesthesia and everything else. And then the other thing is what about healing? Healing, do you mean healing and swelling? So healing, swelling, day one, it goes like this. Day one is look at you, girl. Dang, snatched, right? So then when you hit week one, you're like, did I have anything done? At the end of week one, literally. So then it progresses. I want to say week 6 to 8 are big weeks where you're liposuction is kind of delayed gratification because of all the swelling, right? Tummy tuck's different. You pull all that skin out. People can see that immediately. They can see that long term too. Even at 1 week, they're swollen, but they can see, wow, that skin is gone. Liposuction is delayed gratification. So week 6 to 8, you kind of start really seeing okay, results come on through. 2 months is a big point. 6 months is another big point in terms of swelling. 2 months to 6 months is a really big difference. 6 weeks is a big point where you kind of start feeling a little bit normal. You may still have a little bit of numb spots and some soreness. Massages are everything for that. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Again, a really complex question. Hope that helps.